There comes a moment in life, and it doesn't always arrive with warning. It creeps in after sleepless nights, broken plans, and repeated attempts to fix what just won't bend. You've been doing more, haven't you? Hustling, grinding, meditating, journaling, manifesting, praying, planning, and yet, nothing moves. You look at the sky and whisper, "Why isn't it working?" But here's the harsh, liberating truth. You've been trying to force alignment with a clenched fist, and the universe doesn't answer fists. It answers surrender. Carl Jung once said, "What you resist not only persists but grows in size." So while you've been trying to affirm your future, deep inside, your energy's been saying, "I don't have it. I'm not enough. I'm scared." And guess what? The world listens to your energy, not your words. That's why your efforts don't manifest results. Not because you're lazy, not because you're broken, but because you're stuck in survival mode, trying to control what was never yours to command. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And when your entire identity is built on chasing, fixing, solving, your life becomes a reflection of the very emptiness you're trying to escape. So what if I told you this? The most powerful move you can make right now is to stop. Stop grasping, stop pushing, stop proving. Not from fear, but from faith. Not from weakness, but from wisdom. Because when the doing stops, the becoming begins. When the noise dies down, the unconscious awakens. And when you finally stop interfering, the psyche begins to heal, the shadow begins to integrate, and reality starts aligning on its own. This is not the end of your effort. This is the beginning of your surrender. Not giving up, but giving in to something deeper, something timeless. Let go and watch what happens. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Stop chasing, you're blocking yourself. We've been sold a lie that success comes from chasing, that happiness is a result of relentless pursuit, that if you just run faster, push harder, and keep grinding, eventually what you want will fall into your hands. But Carl Jung didn't teach us to chase dreams. He taught us to turn inward, to ask, why am I chasing this in the first place? Because sometimes the thing you're chasing isn't the real desire. It's the band-aid for a deeper wound. When you crave love so badly it consumes your thoughts, is it really about love? Or is it about the fear of being abandoned again? When you obsess over wealth, is it truly about money? Or are you still trying to prove your worth to the people who once made you feel small? Jung's genius wasn't in motivation, it was in confrontation. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." That means, if you don't bring your wounds into the light, they will control your desires, and you won't even realize it. So you keep running toward things, thinking they'll complete you. But life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. And if what you are is wounded, desperate, fragmented, then every goal you chase will slip through your fingers, because the energy behind your effort is saying, "I am not whole, I am not worthy, I need this to feel enough." And the universe, it always mirrors your vibration. You say, "Please give me love," but your energy says, "I don't have it." So it echoes back, "You're right." This is why people burn out chasing relationships that never work, careers that drain them, validation that fades. Not because the goal is wrong, but because the self behind the goal is bleeding. The obsession is never about the thing. It's about what you believe that thing will fix inside you. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you got what you wanted right now, you wouldn't even be able to hold it, because your hands are still trembling with old pain. Jung wasn't here to help you manifest from ego. He was here to help you integrate your soul, to stop chasing and start facing the part of you that's been quietly screaming, "I'm not chasing success, I'm chasing wholeness." So here's your turning point. Before you ask the universe for more, ask yourself, what part of me still feels empty? Because once you heal that, you'll stop chasing what was never yours and start attracting what was always meant for you. This is not about quitting your goals. It's about cleansing your reasons. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs, because they've already become whole. Only then will the universe stop testing you and start trusting you. Let's go deeper. Chapter 2. The unconscious is always listening. Most people wake up every day thinking they're being tested by life, that the universe is throwing obstacles in their way to see how strong they are. But the truth is far deeper and more personal. You're not being tested, you're being mirrored. Life doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you are. Not your affirmations, not your Instagram captions about healing, but your unconscious identity, the silent belief system pulsing underneath every decision you make. Carl Jung understood this with brutal clarity. He said, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens." Translation: stop looking for signs in the sky. Start reading the ones inside your soul. Because here's the brutal reality. If your unconscious mind is filled with doubt, fear, trauma, unworthiness, you could write affirmations in gold ink on your ceiling. You could repeat, "I'm enough," until your throat goes dry. It still won't land. Because deep down, you don't believe it. You can't lie to the unconscious. It hears everything, it remembers everything, and it runs the show, even when you think you're in control. Let's be real for a second. That tightness in your chest when you visualize your future, that anxiety when you think about how it'll all come together, that's not intuition. That's your unconscious screaming, "You don't really think this is possible, do you?" And so life mirrors that. It delays the blessing, not out of cruelty, but because your energy says, "I'm not ready to receive." So what do? We stop. We stop begging. We stop obsessing. We stop throwing more positivity on top of internal chaos. Because real power isn't found in more effort. It's found in presence, in slowing down enough to hear the whispers of your own psyche. When you feel the doubt, don't run from it. When fear shows up, don't bury it under another motivational podcast. Sit with it, decode it. Because every fear is a message. Every hesitation is a signal. Your unconscious is always speaking. The question is, are you brave enough to listen? And here's the twist. When you finally do nothing, when you stop interfering, when you stop trying to force divine timing with human impatience, that's when the shift begins. That's when your energy aligns. That's when the unconscious stops resisting. And that's when the universe says, "Now you're ready." You're not here to chase alignment. You're here to become it. And becoming begins in stillness. Chapter 3. Detachment isn't giving up, it's awakening. Let go. Not as an act of defeat, not because you've given up on the outcome, but because you've finally awakened to the truth. I was never meant to control the world. I was meant to understand myself within it. Detachment isn't about apathy. It's not about pretending nothing matters. It's about reclaiming your energy from places it never belonged in the first place. It's the quiet confidence that says, "I've done what I could. Now I surrender what I can't." Carl Jung understood that true transformation doesn't happen in obsession. It happens in surrender. Not passive resignation, but deep inner alignment. You can't fake detachment. You can't scroll Instagram saying, "I don't care anymore," while secretly checking your phone every 5 minutes. For their name, for a sign, for a shift. The unconscious doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your vibration. And if your vibration still says, "I need this to feel whole," then life will continue to show you all the ways you're not. Detachment is not the absence of desire. It's the absence of dependency. It's the inner knowing that says, even if this never comes, I am still enough. And here's the paradox. When your energy finally aligns with that truth, that's when everything begins to flow. Not because you forced it, but because you're no longer resisting it. Life bends for those who are already whole, not those begging to be completed. So if you're in pain right now, if you're caught in that invisible web of waiting, obsessing, hoping, pause. Not to distract yourself, but to ask, what part of me still believes that this one thing will fix everything? The part of you that's waiting for love, for validation, for success. That part doesn't need fixing. It needs witnessing. Not by the world, not by your ex, not by your parents, but by you. Because the moment you see yourself clearly, without judgment, without shame, you stop looking outside for mirrors and you start becoming your own. And that is where the real shift begins. No more chasing, no more begging, no more proving, just being fully, unapologetically, powerfully. You, Chapter 4. Allow the void. This is where transformation happens after you finally let go. After the fight, the obsession, the gripping, the begging, something unexpected happens. Nothing. No sign, no reward, no sudden miracle. Just silence. You wake up and the world looks the same. Your phone doesn't buzz. Your heart still aches. The opportunity hasn't come. The message hasn't arrived. And the voice inside you whispers, "Was any of that even worth it?" This is the moment that breaks most people. Because we've been conditioned to believe, if I let go, something good will instantly replace it. But the universe doesn't move on your timeline. It moves in energetic alignment. And before it gives you what you asked for, it checks to see who you've become without it. So here you are in the void, a space that feels like nothing, but holds everything. This is the in-between, the space where your old self has died, but your new self hasn't been born yet. And that space is terrifying, because there's no map, no proof, no external feedback to say you're on the right path. Just you, and your thoughts, and the deafening quiet that demands you to trust something you can't yet see. Carl Jung called this space the creative void. He said, "In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order." That means what looks like nothing happening on the outside is actually deep internal reorganization on the inside. Your soul is not on pause, it's under construction. Your unconscious is rewiring, old wounds are detaching, new beliefs are anchoring, your nervous system is adapting to receive the thing you used to beg for. But here's the trap, because you can't see it happening. Your ego tells you, now this isn't working. And if you believe that lie, you'll self-sabotage, you'll start chasing again, and you'll block everything that was quietly forming behind the scenes. The void is not a punishment, it's a purification. It strips away everything you were depending on, the external validation, the illusion of control, the addiction to outcomes, until the only thing left is your truth. And when you reach that place, where you stop chasing and start becoming, the universe listens. Because energy never lies. You can post vision boards, recite affirmations, and chant mantras all day long. But if your energy still says, "I'm scared it won't happen," then life mirrors that. The void is the moment where you're asked to embody the outcome before it arrives. Can you feel wealthy before the money hits your bank account? Can you feel loved before the relationship manifests? Can you feel free before anything changes on the outside? Because if you can, you collapse time. You turn waiting into becoming. You turn stillness into magnetism. You become the vibration of your desire. And life has no choice but to meet you there. But first, you must pass the test, the silence, the unknown, the terrifying gap where you feel like you're doing nothing. But in truth, you're becoming everything. So if you're in that void right now, hold your ground. Don't move. Don't fix. Don't panic. Breathe. Align. And listen. Because once you master this sacred stillness, once you stop needing proof and start becoming presence, life gets loud again. But this time, it sings your song. Chapter 5. Integrate. Don't obsess. Every desire you feel isn't random. It's not a punishment. It's not the universe teasing you or dangling something just out of reach. It's a mirror, a message, a spiritual assignment. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He taught that every desire is a signal from the unconscious, not to chase something out there, but to awaken something in here. You don't want money just to be rich. You want to feel safe. You don't want a relationship just to be loved. You want to feel seen. You don't want success just for applause. You want to finally believe that you're enough. The desire is not the problem, the unconscious attachment underneath it is. And this is where most people get stuck. They obsess. They mistake their yearning for action. They check their phone 20 times a day. They reread old conversations. They overanalyze every delay, every silence, every little shift in energy. And they call it manifestation. But Carl Jung's work, especially the process of individuation, taught us something different. The goal isn't to become perfect, it's to become whole. And wholeness doesn't come from obsessing over what you lack. It comes from integrating what you've disowned, your light, your shadow, your power, your insecurity, your deepest truth. even the parts you've been ashamed to look at. Because when you finally hold both your strength and your struggle, you stop needing life to fill you. You become full, on your own. Let this land. You don't attract what you obsess over. You attract what you've made peace with. So the next time you feel the pull to chase, pause, not out of laziness, but out of mastery. Take a breath, close your eyes, and ask, what part of me still thinks this thing will complete me? Because when you realize you are already whole, that you're not missing anything, not broken, not behind, something powerful happens. The obsession dissolves, and in its place, calm, clarity, and actual magnetism. You stop needing the world to prove your worth. And ironically, that's when the world starts responding to you differently. Because now your energy says, I'm already it, I'm already there. That's the difference between manifesting from desperation and magnetizing from alignment. So yes, you could keep reaching, you could keep analyzing every sign. Or you could do the radical, revolutionary thing. Sit still, do nothing, and let life catch up to who you've already become. Because once the internal work is done, you don't need to chase, you don't even need to ask. You simply allow, you simply receive, you simply are. Chapter 6. The ego wants control. The soul wants peace. Let's be honest, and that part of you that keeps checking your phone, refreshing your inbox, rereading conversations, watching the clock, asking, why hasn't it happened yet? That's not your higher self. That's your ego. They're screaming in fear. The ego hates the unknown. It craves certainty. It needs the illusion of control to feel safe. And if it doesn't get it, it spirals. It catastrophizes. It floods your nervous system with panic and labels it intuition. But that's not intuition. That's insecurity. That's unhealed fear dressed in urgency. Carl Jung saw this internal war clearly. He didn't just study it, he lived it. And he taught us that the human experience is a constant tension between the ego and the soul. The ego demands proof. The soul whispers truth. The ego says, I need to control this so I don't get hurt again. The soul says, I've already survived worse. Let's flow. Here's what most people never learn. The ego seeks outcomes. The soul seeks alignment. The ego needs to know how it's going to happen. The soul only needs to feel that it will. Because the soul operates outside of time. It isn't chasing, it's remembering. Carl Jung once wrote, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And here's the plot twist. Who you truly are is not the version of you that's panicking. It's the version beneath all that. The one that already feels complete. That version of you isn't scared of silence. It isn't measuring its worth in text